we're gonna start assembling the passenger side head. We're gonna bolt it down with these. We have ARP hardware. These have, let me see if I can get it in there. You can see the difference in this side. Now this side is just flat. This side here that has like the little indents goes towards the block. All right, so we got all of those in, and now we're gonna go ahead and hand tighten these nuts here. All right, so now we got those in there. I'm gonna just just run them down with the impact and really not even tighten them, just kind of snug them down to the point where they just stop. All right, so now that we got those snug down and everything, let me actually try and get this over here so you guys can actually see. Now that we got those torqued down, or not really torqued down, but they're snug down, let me go get the sheet that has all the torque specs for the head. ARP has a specific torque sequence and amount of torque that you want to put on these. I'll just put it here just so you can see, but if you go on ARP's website, they actually have it. All right, so we got our torque wrench here. I'm assuming all of you know how to use a torque wrench. If you don't, then you probably shouldn't be doing this. But so I got the torque specs here. All right, so let's go ahead and start torquing these. And now we got 50. Now we got 70. All right, so what I've got now is all my lifters in here. What we're gonna do is, so what I did was just spray a little bit like break-in oil all up in there. We will put assembly lube in the cam journals. You want to use assembly lube in theirs, especially because this isn't going in the car right away. So you want to do that. What I'm going to do is get my lifters and just kind of, coat them a little bit with this this break-in stuff. And then once we go ahead and put all of this together with the both cams in, I'm going to actually show you guys how to pressurize the whole entire oiling system. So then oil gets literally everywhere that it needs to be. We're gonna kind of simulate, building oil pressure. All right, so we're getting ready to put the cam in here. I've just got this assembly lube stuff, pretty simple stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff on the cam journals here. Cam, which you've got right here, right there. You want to clean it off. Sure it's all good, nothing, no debris or nothing is in there. You might be asking yourself why I'm not putting the rocker arms in. It's because these lobes are a little bit bigger than stock, so I don't want to put them in, put the cam in and kind of force the cam in there. I'm going to show you how to do that. You have to have a special tool for it, but it's nothing that's like weirdly hard or anything. But set your cam in there. I wouldn't recommend spinning it just right now. Once we get the other caps on though, we can spin it around, make sure everything's free. Also, these cams were degreed before, so that's why the cam gear is still on there. If you're just putting stock cams back in, you won't need to degree them. It's always good to degree cams, but you don't necessarily need to. These are, I'll put the specs on the screen, but they're comp cam stage 2 cams. I believe they're XE268Hs. So we're gonna go ahead and put our cam girdles on and make sure we lube those up as well. All right, so these have been lubed. I have lubed these before, but I'm just gonna put a little extra on just to make sure there's full coverage on there. You know, just wipe it in there, get it all on the bearing surface. These you can't really install incorrectly because you see on the head here, you know, they've got 3 over here, so you want to go ahead and put those on. You know, put that one on. You know, like I said, go ahead and put some Simply Lube on there. Yeah, you can just wipe the excess off. And obviously, you know, make sure there's no like dirt and debris on there. There's also dowel pins on here, so make sure those are in there. So now you got those set in there. We're gonna put the bolts in. All right, we got all the bolts in there kind of started. You want to go ahead and, you know, start cranking them down. All right, so we torqued all the bolts down. They're all torque to spec. You can go ahead and spin the cam over. It should spin over like this. Pretty easy. If it's not doing that, then you need to check and make sure there's nothing holding it up, and, you know, just make sure nothing's binding up. It shouldn't move back and forth either. So just make sure you check that. I'm gonna move to the front of the engine now and put this crank sprocket on, because we're gonna move this to where all the pistons are down. So once we put in our rocker arms, the valves don't hit the pistons.